You want a warm, satisfying breakfast for a summer brunch, but most egg-free, dairy-free casseroles end up dry or bland. This list of easy vegan breakfast casseroles proves you can have creamy, savory, and completely plant-based dishes that actually taste like comfort food. One smart swap, using silken tofu or soaked cashews as the base, gives these casseroles that custard-like texture without any eggs. You'll see how simple ingredient tweaks turn ordinary veggies into a breakfast centerpiece your guests will actually reach for. Whether you're feeding a family with dietary restrictions or just want to make a head meal for a relaxed summer gathering, these recipes help everyone feel included at the table. Think tender potatoes, crispy tops, fresh herbs, and rich layers that come together in one pan with minimal fuss. You might be surprised by some of the flavor combinations that work perfectly for a sunny brunch spread. Let's dive into this roundup of vegan breakfast casseroles that make summer mornings feel effortless and delicious. Let's kick things off with a hearty tofu scrambled breakfast casserole that's perfect for a lazy summer morning. This dish brings all the cozy, savory flavors of a classic scramble but bakes up in one pan so you can enjoy brunch without standing over the stove. You'll start by crumbling firm tofu and seasoning it with turmeric, nutritional yeast, and a pinch of black salt for that eggy taste. Then you'll fold in sautéed bell peppers, onions, and spinach before mixing everything with cubed bread and a creamy plant-based milk mixture. Pour it all into a baking dish and let the oven do the work, turning it into a golden, fluffy casserole that slices neatly. For a summer twist, swap the spinach for fresh zucchini and add a handful of cherry tomatoes for brightness. Every bite feels like a warm hug, but light enough to leave you energized for the day ahead. Next up, we're moving to a sweet and savory combination that brings a touch of sunshine to the table. Now let's talk about a sweet potato and black bean brunch bake that feels like a fiesta for your taste buds. This casserole is ideal for summer because it's packed with colorful veggies and protein, making it both satisfying and refreshing. You'll roast cubed sweet potatoes until tender and caramelized, then layer them in a dish with seasoned black beans and corn. A simple sauce made from blended cashews, lime juice, and a hint of chipotle gives it a creamy, smoky finish that ties everything together. Top it with crushed tortilla chips for crunch, then bake until bubbly and slightly crisp on the edges. If you're avoiding nuts, swap the cashew cream for a silken tofu-based sauce that's just as luscious. The combination of sweet, smoky, and tangy flavors will make everyone reach for seconds before brunch is even over. Stay tuned, because the next dish takes a classic breakfast favorite and turns it into a shareable casserole. This next one is a baked overnight oats casserole loaded with summer berries that practically screams brunch time. It's the perfect make-ahead option because you can prep it the night before and just pop it in the oven while you sip your coffee. Simply mix rolled oats with almond milk, a touch of maple syrup, and a splash of vanilla, then fold in fresh blueberries, raspberries, and sliced strawberries. Pour everything into a casserole dish and let it soak overnight in the fridge, allowing the oats to soften and the flavors to meld. In the morning, bake it until the top turns golden and the berries burst into little pockets of sweetness. For extra texture, you can stir in some chopped pecans or a sprinkle of coconut flake before baking. It feels like eating a warm berry crumble for breakfast, but it's still light and perfect for a hot summer day. Right after this, we're diving into a casserole that turns overripe bananas into pure comfort food magic. So far, we've looked at a bunch of easy vegan casseroles for summer brunch. Which one caught your eye the most? Maybe the sweet potato hash version or the tofu scramble bake? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to hear what style you're excited to try first. And if you're cooking for someone with allergies or a specific diet, let us know what swaps you need. Your feedback helps us tailor more roundups like this one. If you're finding these ideas helpful, hit the like button so more people can discover them. Also, subscribing means you will not miss the next set of recipes. Stick around, there are still more good ones coming up in this collection. This vegan banana bread French toast casserole is the ultimate way to use up those spotty bananas sitting on your counter. It's ideal for summer brunch because it's simple to assemble and tastes like a dessert you can enjoy any time of day. You'll cube a loaf of leftover banana bread, store-bought or homemade, and arrange it in a greased baking dish. Then whisk together a custard made from oat milk, flax eggs, cinnamon, and a little brown sugar, and pour it evenly over the bread cubes. Let it sit for a few minutes so the bread soaks up all that spiced goodness, then bake until puffy and golden brown. For a refreshing summer twist, top it with a handful of fresh sliced peaches or a drizzle of coconut yogurt. Each forkful is soft, sweet, and slightly crisp on the edges, making it an instant crowd pleaser. Next, we're heading in a savory direction with a casserole that celebrates summer's best garden produce. This zucchini and corn savory casserole is a light, veggie-forward dish that captures all the flavors of a summer farmer's market. It works beautifully for brunch because it's filling without being heavy, and it pairs well with a fresh side salad or fruit. Start by grating fresh zucchini and squeezing out the excess moisture, then mix it with sweet corn kernels and finely chopped red onion. Stir in a batter made from chickpea flour, water, and a touch of olive oil, which bakes into a tender, almost frittata-like texture. Pour the mixture into a pie dish or casserole pan and scatter some fresh dill or basil on top before baking. If you want extra protein, you can fold in some crumbled vegan sausage or a handful of cooked lentils. The result is a moist, savory slice that feels like summer on a plate with a subtle sweetness from the corn. For our final dish of this section, get ready for a protein-packed casserole that's as easy as it is impressive. Last up in this first batch is a chickpea flour frittata casserole studded with sun-dried tomatoes and fresh basil. This dish is a fantastic choice for summer brunch because it's dairy-free, egg-free, and incredibly simple to put together in minutes. Whisk chickpea flour with water, olive oil, and a pinch of kala namak until smooth, then stir in chopped sun-dried tomatoes, capers, and a handful of fresh spinach. Pour the batter into a lined or greased baking dish and scatter some sliced olives or artichoke hearts on top for extra Mediterranean flair. Bake until the edges are golden and the center is set, then let it cool slightly before slicing into wedges. You can make it gluten-free by ensuring your baking powder is certified gluten-free, and it's naturally nut-free as well. The frittata comes out fluffy and savory, with bursts of umami from the tomatoes and a hint of brininess that feels so satisfying. Stick around, because coming up next, we've got a completely different kind of casserole that brings a touch of tropical flavor to your brunch table. Next up is a savory oat bake that feels like a warm hug on a summer morning. It's perfect for brunch because oats soak up all the rich flavors without weighing you down. You start by sautéing mushrooms and garlic until golden, then stir in fresh spinach until it wilts. Mix that with rolled oats, vegetable broth, and a splash of plant milk. Then pour it into a baking dish. A sprinkle of nutritional yeast on top gives it that cheesy umami kick without any dairy. If you want extra protein, toss in some crumbled tempeh or white beans before baking. The result is a hearty, comforting casserole that tastes like a cozy breakfast diner classic. And once you've tried this savory twist, you'll be ready for something a little brighter and fruitier. Now let's take a trip to the tropics with a coconut rice pudding casserole that feels like dessert for breakfast. It's ideal for summer brunch because it's naturally sweet, creamy, and can be made ahead the night before. Cook jasmine rice in coconut milk with a pinch of salt and a drizzle of maple syrup until tender. Fold in diced mango, toasted coconut flakes, and a squeeze of lime for that bright, fresh pop. Transfer everything to a baking dish, top with extra coconut, and bake until the edges are golden and bubbly. For a nut-free version, skip the coconut flakes and use chopped banana instead. Every spoonful tastes like a sunny beach day, and your guests will go back for seconds. After that tropical escape, let's bring things back to the garden with a veggie-packed option. These vegan breakfast casseroles are just the start of what you can make. If you want to find even more recipes that fit your needs, check out www.healthybitestribe.com. Our AI recipe generator can turn your favorite flavors into a custom dish in seconds. You'll also find a meal planner to help you organize your week around these types of healthy swaps. Saving and sharing recipes is super easy there, so you can keep this whole roundup handy. Whether you're dairy-free, gluten-free, or just eating more plants, the site has you covered. No advertisements, no pressure, just practical tools for real-life cooking. Head over after the video to explore more meal ideas like the ones you've just seen. This Mediterranean quinoa bake is a total game changer for a savory brunch spread. It's loaded with roasted red peppers, artichoke hearts, and Kalamata olives for a bold, tangy flavor. Cook quinoa until fluffy, then mix it with a simple tomato sauce, a handful of chopped fresh basil, and a splash of lemon juice. Fold in the roasted veggies and spoon everything into a casserole dish, smoothing the top. Bake until the edges are slightly crispy and the center is warm and fragrant. To make it soy-free, just use a homemade tahini drizzle instead of any store-bought dressing. This dish feels like a vacation on a plate, and it's hearty enough to be the star of the table. Once you've had your fill of Mediterranean flavors, we'll move on to something with a little crunch. If you love crispy hash browns, this casserole is about to become your new summer brunch favorite. It uses frozen shredded potatoes as the base, so it's super easy and comes together in no time. Toss the hash browns with diced bell peppers, onions, and a handful of chopped kale for extra color and nutrients. Whisk together a simple mixture of silken tofu, nutritional yeast, and a pinch of turmeric for that eggy texture and golden hue. Pour the tofu mixture over the hash browns and veggies, then bake until the top is golden and the edges are crisp. For a lower oil version, just spray the dish lightly and use a non-stick pan. The contrast between the crunchy potatoes and the creamy tofu layer is absolutely irresistible. After that satisfying crunch, let's switch gears to something sweet and nostalgic. This apple cinnamon baked oatmeal casserole tastes just like a warm slice of apple pie, but it's totally vegan and perfect for brunch. It's a great make-ahead dish because the flavors get even better after sitting overnight in the fridge. Start by mixing rolled oats with diced apples, a generous sprinkle of cinnamon, and a touch of nutmeg for warmth. Stir in some unsweetened applesauce, a splash of oat milk, and a drizzle of maple syrup to bind everything together. Pour the mixture into a baking dish, top with a few extra apple slices, and bake until golden and fragrant. If you want a nut-free topping, skip the walnuts and use pumpkin seeds or extra oats instead. The house will smell incredible, and each bite is like a cozy hug on a summer morning. That sweet apple goodness leads us perfectly into one last fruity, refreshing casserole. For our final savory sweet combo, let's make a blueberry lemon breakfast strata that's light, bright, and perfect for summer. It uses cubed sourdough bread as the base, which soaks up all the lemony custard beautifully. Whisk together silken tofu, lemon zest, a splash of vanilla, and a little maple syrup for that creamy, egg-like texture. Layer the bread cubes with fresh blueberries and a sprinkle of lemon juice, then pour the tofu mixture evenly over the top. Let it sit for about 10 minutes so the bread absorbs everything, then bake until puffed and golden. For a gluten-free version, just swap in your favorite gluten-free bread and let it soak a bit longer. The tart blueberries and bright lemon make every forkful feel like a sunny day. And with that, we've got a full lineup of easy vegan breakfast casseroles. Now let's talk about how to serve them all for a stress-free brunch. This next dish might surprise you, but savory pumpkin in a breakfast casserole is an absolute game-changer for summer brunch. It brings a cozy, earthy flavor that feels special without being heavy, perfect for a lazy weekend morning. You start by whisking together a simple base of silken tofu and a splash of unsweetened plant milk until it's smooth and creamy. Then you stir in some canned pumpkin puree, a good pinch of dried sage, a little garlic powder, and salt and pepper for warmth. Fold in some chopped kale and diced red onion, then pour everything into a baking dish and top with a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds for crunch. If you want a little extra heartiness, toss in some cooked lentils or crumbled vegan sausage before baking. The result is a soft, savory bake that tastes like fall comfort food, but it's light enough for a sunny summer table. Now, let's move on to a dish that brings a bright, tangy twist to your brunch spread. You're not alone in figuring out how to make brunch work for everyone's diet. That's why we built a community around recipe collections like this one. At www.healthybitestribe.com, you can chat with others who love vegan, allergy-friendly cooking, share your own twists on these casseroles, ask questions, or just find encouragement. It's a warm space where we all help each other feel confident in the kitchen. If this video made you feel supported, subscribing to the channel is a great next step. Then come join the conversation online. You'll be welcomed right in. Together, we can make summer brunch delicious and stress-free for everyone. For a tropical twist that screams summer, this mango and coconut breakfast bake is pure sunshine in a dish. It's naturally sweet and refreshing, making it a wonderful option when you want something fruity but still filling. You blend together some rolled oats, coconut milk, a ripe banana, and a little maple syrup until you have a thick, smooth batter. Then you fold in chunks of fresh or frozen mango and a handful of shredded coconut for texture and flavor. Pour the mixture into a greased baking dish and bake until the top is golden and the edges are slightly crispy. For an extra layer of flavor, add a teaspoon of lime zest to the batter or a pinch of cardamom for warmth. Every bite is like a mini vacation, with the sweet mango and creamy coconut working beautifully together. Up next is a savory option that packs in protein and feels like a hearty brunch classic. This lentil and potato breakfast casserole is the kind of dish that keeps you full and happy all morning long. It's perfect for summer brunch because it's simple to prep ahead and tastes even better the next day. You start by boiling some diced potatoes until they're just tender, then drain them and set them aside. In a bowl, mix cooked brown lentils with a splash of vegetable broth, some smoked paprika, onion powder, and a little nutritional yeast for a cheesy flavor. Layer the potatoes and lentil mixture in a baking dish, then pour over a blend of silken tofu and plant milk whisked with a bit of turmeric for color. You can swap the potatoes for sweet potatoes or add some chopped bell peppers for extra crunch and sweetness. It bakes up golden and hearty with a soft savory texture that feels like a warm hug on a plate. Let's keep the comfort going with a dish that turns a classic breakfast favorite into a shareable casserole. If you love cinnamon rolls but want something a little more wholesome, this baked oatmeal casserole is your new best friend. It captures all the gooey, spiced goodness of a cinnamon roll in a simple, crowd-friendly dish. You mix rolled oats with mashed banana, a little applesauce, and some almond milk to create a thick, moist base. Then you swirl in a mixture of coconut sugar, cinnamon, and a bit of melted coconut oil to create those classic cinnamon roll ribbons. Pour the oat mixture into a baking dish, add a few extra swirls on top, and bake until it's set and slightly golden. For a creamier texture, you can stir in a spoonful of cashew cream or a dollop of coconut yogurt before baking. The aroma alone will have everyone gathering in the kitchen, and each spoonful tastes like a cozy morning treat. Next up is a savory bake that brings a fresh, herby flavor to your brunch table. This herb and artichoke breakfast casserole feels elegant and light, perfect for a summer brunch with friends. It's packed with bright flavors from fresh herbs and tender artichoke hearts, making it feel special without much effort. You start by sautéing some chopped onion and garlic in a little olive oil until they're soft and fragrant. Then you stir in a can of drained and chopped artichoke hearts, along with a generous handful of fresh dill, parsley, and chives. In a separate bowl, whisk together silken tofu, a splash of lemon juice, and a pinch of salt, then fold in the artichoke mixture and pour it into a baking dish. For a little extra texture, you can sprinkle some breadcrumbs or crushed crackers on top before baking. It comes out of the oven golden and fluffy, with a bright, tangy flavor that pairs beautifully with a side of fresh fruit. Now let's wrap things up with a sweet and satisfying dish that feels like the perfect ending to any brunch. For our final dish, this peach and ginger breakfast crisp casserole is a sweet, summery way to close out your brunch spread. It's like a warm fruit crisp but made heartier with oats and a hint of spice, so it works as a breakfast or dessert. You toss sliced fresh or frozen peaches with a little maple syrup, a teaspoon of grated fresh ginger, and a squeeze of lemon juice. In a separate bowl, mix rolled oats, a bit of oat flour, some coconut sugar, and a pinch of cinnamon with melted coconut oil until crumbly. Layer the peaches in a baking dish, top with the oat mixture, and bake until the fruit is bubbly and the topping is golden and crisp. You can swap the peaches for nectarines or add a handful of blueberries for a mixed fruit version. Every spoonful is warm, juicy, and slightly spicy, with a crunchy topping that makes it absolutely irresistible. And that wraps up our easy vegan breakfast casseroles for summer brunch, each one perfect for sharing and enjoying all season long. That wraps up our full roundup of vegan breakfast casseroles perfect for summer brunch. I hope these recipes give you plenty of fresh ideas to try for your next lazy morning or family gathering. Remember, you can pick and choose the swaps that work best for your tastes or dietary needs. If you enjoyed this collection, a quick like and subscribe really helps the channel keep bringing you more. For even more support, head over to www.healthybitestribe.com. There you'll find our AI recipe generator, a handy meal planner, and ways to save and share these dishes. Plus, our community chat is full of people who get what it's like cooking for different restrictions. So go ahead, subscribe, visit the site, and happy cooking. You've got so many delicious options to explore.